Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, I'm GC Smith, and welcome to this Magic the Gathering related video. Now, this video is going to be literally just audio only, with maybe some sort of overlay on the YouTube screen, mainly because I'm recording this after just waking up and getting up and noticing this big news thing that should have been news yesterday, probably, and I don't know why it wasn't. So, GP Vegas, or the Modern Masters GP trio happened this last weekend with GP Vegas, GP Utrecht, and GP Chiba. And GP Vegas had some major controversy in the top 8. So for those of you who don't know the format for this weekend for all 3 GPs was limited, which is a sealed pool day 1, day 2 you draft twice, and then top 8 is also another draft. So in the top 8, a guy called Maynard, a Pro Tour player, like an actual pro, he's like a gold level pro, opens pack 2. Now at this point he's in a red-white deck, and he opens a pack and it has the burst lightning in the pack, among other things, but it also has a foil Goyf, and he spends nearly a whole minute thinking about it and picks the foil Goyf. As a result, not the entire pro community, that's not really fair, but a large amount of pros, including some names that I won't mention here out of respect for those players, despite how little respect they seem to have for one of their own, they basically crucified him for not taking the burst lightning, saying things like, well, you shouldn't be here for the value, this is a pro tour draft, this is a GP draft, top 8, you should be there to win, you should be picking the burst lightning because it's better for your deck than Tarmogoyf. And I'm sitting there thinking, whoa. Firstly, you have no idea how crucial this burst lightning is going to be. Burst lightning is an uncommon in the set, so it's not as if it's impossible for him to see another one in the whole of pack 2 or pack 3. Right? So there is a chance he will see another one, and he will pick one up. Oh no, it's a common. Oh, it's even better. He's more likely to see one than if he were, he could easily see another burst lightning in this pack. It's not likely everyone's in red. There's a lot of other decks, like the green-blue decks, whatever, and if people are there drafting to win, not everyone will be in red. So it's entirely likely he will be past the burst lightning. Or at least not impossible, he'll be past the burst lightning and get the card he needs. I mean, it's only pack 2, pick 1, right? At this point, he's still easily capable of getting 23 playables for his deck and not needing the burst lightning pick. And there's also a chance, theoretically, not likely, but it's also possible the burst lightning will wheel all the way around back to him. And yet, he's being crucified for taking a value pick. So what? He took a value pick in the top 8 of a GP. Would you never take a value pick? Remember, this is a guy who's claimed he hasn't been able to go to recent GPs because he hasn't got the money. Even the gold membership he has isn't enough to pay him. Because I know gold members get, a small appearance fee for GPs, I think. Or is it, maybe it's only Pro Tours, but I think they get a small appearance fee for GPs. No travel expenses, obviously, which is one of the things that's cost him from going to GPs. But guess what? This foil Tarmogoyf is guaranteed to pay for at least one GP. At least one more. At which point, he could theoretically win that and get his required membership, I guess. So there's no reason to crucify him for this pick. And yet people are like, oh, this disgusts me. This is like bringing shame on the entire Magic community. Of course it is. And your comments about a fellow pro player who happened to make a value-based pick is really not doing the community badly at all, is it? Hypocrisy, I think thy name is. The reality of the situation is, yes, he admits he made a wrong pick for his deck. Right? He comes out and says that maybe taking the Burst Lightning would have been a better pick, especially since he lost at least one game in the top 8 to a Burst Lightning. There's no guarantee, by the way, that's the Burst Lightning he passed. It is a common. It is entirely possible that Burst Lightning was picked up by someone else in another pack, not the one he passed. So it's entirely possible that by taking Burst Lightning, he still would have lost that game because the Burst Lightning still would have been there in his opponent's deck. So unless we know what every person picked in what packs and picks, which someone out there might know, we don't, I don't think. And I don't think they're going to make that information public to us. So, yeah, I think it's entirely possible that he didn't lose to the Burst Lightning he passed. I mean, it's also possible he did, right? That's the thing, right? But even then, if he'd picked the Burst Lightning, would he still have won that game? His opponent wouldn't have had the Burst Lightning to kill him, but his opponent could have had other creatures, right? Or maybe by taking that Burst Lightning, he put someone else into another deck that ended up being better, and he still loses the top 8. You know, there's no guarantee that taking that Burst Lightning gets him the top 8. What is it? I was reading someone who said in the mathematics about it increases his win percentage by maybe 5% at the most, which is, if you work out the mathematics, a $65 increase in prizes. Now, obviously, that's impossible. Your prizes don't go up by $65 where you place; they go up by like couple of $100. So he's almost, But the idea being that the win percentage increase is so low, it will only increase your wins by $65 because it's not guaranteed to win you any games. Whereas the Goyf is guaranteed to be worth at least, $250? Foil Goyf, $300? Oh, and guess what? He's selling it on eBay currently, and it's reached over $1,000. Now, half of that is going to charity, but he has also, got, at least double a Foil Goyf's regular value from this, all because of the controversy. So, all those people that were complaining about this being a value pick? They increased the value of the pick. Wow. Speak of irony there. Condemning a guy for taking a value pick and in the process only increasing the value of the pick. And half is going to charity, man. This is let's go and I'm just going to quickly reload the bid and see where it's at now, because this is really high last time I checked. So it's currently sitting at $1,600. That's $800 Foil Goyf for him and $800 for charity. This is amazing to see, right? The community, rallying around this guy to buy a Goyf. I mean, it is also uniquely stamped, I think. Or, there's only maybe one other Goyf if it used the same stamp as some of the other Day 2 stamps. But I think it was meant to be a unique stamp for top 8. So it could be a unique foil Goyf that people are clamoring for. It's helping charity, and he's getting loads of value. I mean, some people are clearly buying it, bidding for it, not because it's going to charity or anything, but because it's the Goyf that made the pros all so salty. Imagine playing one of these pros with this Goyf in your deck. Imagine the feeling you get when you play it against them. That's actually really cool. And I say that as someone who loves playing Magic for cruel control purposes. I love seeing the hope drain out of an opponent's eyes as you slowly pick apart their game plan. I don't do it maliciously. I don't do it, in a way that makes me look like a bad person. I don't do it proudly, and I don't do it insulting them in the process. But I do get maybe a guilty pleasure for watching someone's entire strategy fall apart around them. And I don't know, this kind of would give me the same kind of thrill. That Goyf you said he shouldn't have picked? Here it is. Overall, I would have to say that while he admits he took the wrong pick for this deck, I think he made the right pick. Admittedly, I'm saying that as a guy who's been studying engineering for the last 4 years, of which all 4 years we've had to do something called factor of safety. This is obviously for design principles of making things so they don't collapse and injure or kill people when they're in use. So you make sure they're a factor of safety 2. It can take X amount, but you only ever load it up to half X kind of thing. Or if you need to load to X, you make it so it can withstand 2X, of 2 times the load. But I do think he picked a value of safety pick, a factor of safety pick. There was no guarantee he was going to win the top 8 or even get the Pro Tour points he needed to get Platinum anyway. And there was a guarantee of several $100s. As it's turning out on eBay, I think this was a definite correct pick. Even though my friends are like, no, that was an incorrect pick. It was an incorrect pick for his deck. If, as a player who wants to build the best deck possible in the top 8, that was an incorrect pick. But for a player who wants to actually get some guaranteed value out of this top 8, it is a correct pick. So it really depends on what you're valuing. And I mean, the risk of him taking the Goyf is really low. Like I said, it's passing a common pick 1. Who wants to ever be in a position that my pack 2 pick 1 pick was a common? Out of all the cards in the pack, you pick a common, not even an uncommon. I understand there are a lot of dud rares in drafts, especially rares for your deck, but you really don't like the feeling of picking a common, even if it's the best card objectively for your deck. I don't know, it just doesn't feel good. Pick 1. I mean, I've done it a few times, and the only real times I've done it is when I really needed that common. I desperately needed a common. In M14 drafts, when I would regularly draft the green-black deck. We would have Bloodburn and the Spider with Reach and Death Touch, the 2-drop, Deadly Recluse. So if I saw Bloodburn or Deadly Recluse, I'd often pick them because of how powerful they end up being in games. or if there was a token generator or something that would power the strategy. So yeah, my favorite draft actually reminded me, but I'm not going to go into the story of that. What I'm saying here is that yes, it makes sense to maybe pick a common, but it's not stupid to pick the rare. Now, it was not stupid to pick a foiled Tarmogoyf at all. It may not have been objectively the best pick, but it wasn't. Sorry about that, but it also wasn't the worst pick available. There were other picks you could have taken that could have been far worse. So I have to say that I'm defending this guy's pick. I know some of you may not agree with me, but hey, that's life. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to bring the community, make them aware of this entire silly debacle, and just warn you, maybe that crucifying people for their picks isn't always a good thing. You may just give credit to the pick they made, as it has turned out in this case. So thank you very much for watching, or listening in this case, this video, guys. I am trying to get my channel up and running, and get regular videos up and going. I'm very sorry about the lack of updates recently. Just finished uni last week, or the week before last week. Last week was more of relaxing and getting things set up week, and looking for job week, and doing things like that. I'm still going to be looking for jobs, so I'm going to try and start getting my YouTube channel up and running this week. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.